topic is multiplying two decimals from Unit 11. In this lesson, you're going to be able to stack decimals, multiply them out as you would a whole number, and get the correct product. You'll know you have it when you can follow these steps correctly in the process and get the correct answer by comparing it. Vocabulary that you'll want to know is what a decimal is, knowing that it is a number that represents a whole and a fraction with a decimal point within the number. The decimal point changes the value of the number. You'll also want to know place value, which is the value of a digit within a number. When we multiply decimals, we're always going to follow these steps. The first thing we want to do is set up our factors without lining up the place values. We're just going to align both factors to the right. We're going to do the math like we would when we're multiplying a whole number. So we multiply across all the place values and then add together at the end. The difference between whole numbers and multiplying decimals is these extra steps down here. We're going to count the total of decimal places in both factors, and then we're going to insert the decimal in the product. So if we look down here, we can see that we've stacked both of our factors. Even though our decimal points are not lined up, I'm just going to line up the farthest right place value. I multiply out, I add, and then I count the total decimal places in both factors. So I'm going to start from the right and count towards the left. How many times do I jump until I reach my decimal? We can see in the first factor, I jump once, and the second factor, I jump twice, which is 3 total. So in my answer, I'm going to come down and I'm going to jump 3 places right or left, and that will show me where I put my decimal. So let's work out a problem together. So you can see I have 2 factors. I have a linear equation. So the first thing I want to do is I want to stack them together. So I have 6.38 and 45.2. It does not matter where those decimals are. I do not have to line those up. I'm just going to line up the last digit I have in the number on the very right. So I'm going to multiply out. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then 2 times 6 is 12. I'm going to go to my next level, multiply my 5 out. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry my 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. And then 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Lastly, I will multiply that 4 out. I know that 4 times 8 is 32. Carry my 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. And then I know 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. I'm going to add all of these up. I have a 6, 7, 9 plus 2 is 13. Carry my 1. 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And my 2. My final step is going to be finding how many place values over the decimal points are in my decimal to see where my decimal goes in my answer. So I'm going to come up to my first factor. I'm going to start at the right and count how many times I jump until I reach my decimal point. My first factor, I jump twice, and my second factor, I jump once. I add those together to get a total. Whatever total that is how many place values I jump in my answer. So 1, 2, 3. leaving my decimal point between my 8 and my 3, giving me a product of 288 and 376 thousandths. I hope this helped. Remember, our big success here is going to be following these steps, memorizing these steps. If you need to print out this anchor chart, put it in your math notes or on display somewhere as you are working through and practicing these problems.